So how many of you have bought this book and still haven't done anything with it yet? Yep, me too. So yeah, I flipped through the book, I got really excited about all of the prompts, but it still looks like this. So I'm calling in reinforcements. Cassie from the Cassie Projects is a talented Create This Book artist who's going to help me get started with my very first prompts. Because art is always better with a friend. The first prompt that she's helping me with is to create a trichromatic. Let's see what idea she has for me.
Hi guys, it's Cassie here from the Cassie Projects, and I am here to help Christine with her tricolour challenge today. Christine, I've got 3 colours for you. I hope you like them. First up, we're going to pick this lovely sage green colour. I thought that was a nice safe colour to use. You can use it for a lot of things. But to add a more difficult element to the mix, I thought I would add a maroon red in here because my favourite colour is red, so I want red to be in the mix. I don't know what you're going to do with them, but that's for you to work out. And I thought what would be nice to work with these 2 colours is a blush pink. I think it's a really nice colour combination. I'm sorry if it's a little bit too difficult. I'm so excited to be part of this collab. Thank you so much for having me and good luck.
I'm going to start by mixing this green, and it's way too dark, so I'm going to add a little bit of white, and I'm going to keep adding white until I can get as close as possible to the color. Now, it's looking a little too blue, so I'm adding another type of green with some yellow in it, and I think I'm pretty close. I think this is a pretty good match. I decided to paint this cute cat that is sleeping in a field of mushrooms. I'm starting with the background because I thought the green would work perfectly for it. Cats and mushrooms are my go-tos when I can't figure out what to draw. And this cat is based off of our lovely little Oakley. She is just adorable, and when she's sleeping, she looks like she is having the best time and always looks so comfortable. She's the type of cat that you just want to pick up and cuddle with. Now that my background is complete, it's time to mix the next color, which is this maroon red. Now, I made this way too dark. This is too dark. So I added some more red to lighten it up, and I think I have a good match. And of course, I'm going to use this red color on the mushrooms in the background. Since I'm not using white or black to make the color lighter or darker, I'm watering down my acrylic paint to give myself a few more values to work with within the color. I'm also making sure that I'm leaving some areas underneath where the paper can show through. These areas will be my highlights and give my illustration more depth. I'm glad I had Cassie help me with this tricolor prompt because when it came to getting started in my Create This Book, I didn't know where to begin. I didn't want to start with page 1 or the cover. I want to be creative, and I want my creations to inspire me and the cover of this book. I'm working backwards, and you can too. You don't have to figure everything out before you get started. You just have to start. It's time for the next color, and since it's a blush pink, all I have to do is add a little bit of white. This pink will be the main color of little Oakley, who is sleeping underneath all of these mushrooms. Now it's time to go back in with the red and add more details to bring her to life. Oh, she's such a sleepyhead. Oh, this is so cute. I really love this color combination, but I wanted to do something else with the background. So I decided to make that green just a little bit darker to color in the leaves. Now, don't come for me. Technically, it's the same hue. It's just a different value. It's just a little bit darker. It has a little bit less white. At least that's what I'm going with. Since I like this so much, I think it's okay that I took a couple of creative liberties. I don't know, what do you think? Let me know below. After I was done coloring all of the leaves, I went back in with some colored pencil to add some highlights and bring out some more shadows in the background. This is the final result, and I think it's pretty close. I think the hardest part about this color combination was getting that green. And it was a little difficult because acrylic paints always dry darker than what they look like wet. The colors aren't perfect, but I think they're close. And I don't know. What do you think, Cassie? Here's how it looks inside of the book. It's time for the second prompt, create a duo. Now, Cassie and I have decided ahead of time that we would each start the prompt on our own and then send it to each other to finish. Let's see what Cassie created.
So the idea behind it is I wanted to do a shop because, I mean, well, that's the dream, isn't it? To have my own art shop or gallery and sell my art. I decided to draw that for you, but it's a little bit empty. It's a little bit sad looking. And I think the whole idea behind this prompt is that two people are better than one. So if you could help finish that, that would be super helpful. And don't worry about covering things up. Go crazy. Enjoy yourself. I can't wait to see what you do with it.
I started by printing out Cassie's beautiful artwork on some acrylic paper. Let's just take a minute and appreciate how gorgeous her illustrations are. I love the amount of detail she included in both of these. I'm using my Posca pens because they're a little bit easier to work with. The first thing that I added to Cassie's artwork were these flower pots above the storefront. I've been watching her vlogs and I know she has a garden. I can't imagine her storefront without a touch of nature to make it look more inviting. I colored the sign out front pink and I added the word sale. This is so that everyone walking by knows that there are great deals inside, but I'll get to that part a little bit later. The storefront window is the best part of Cassie's store because she doesn't just display her own artwork, she also helps out her friends. Since I've met Cassie online, she has been nothing but generous with shoutouts and lifting up the artists around her. Which is why this storefront window is filled with her friends' work as well as her own. I added a sleeping cat because all of the best art stores have a friendly cat that greets you when you walk in, and this store is no different. I thought that the entryway needed a fancy light, so I added one. After making the sign out front stand out a little bit more with my brush pen, it was done. Now there's something very special about this next spread because it's not only filled with everyone's favorite art supplies, you know, sketchbooks, paint, paintbrushes, canvases, things like that. This is the special spot within Cassie's store where you can sign up and take an art class led by Cassie or one of her friends. I wanted to add this because the best art stores are the ones that let you discover new art supplies through the free courses that they offer. There's always a sale going on afterwards where you can buy all of the materials at a discounted price. Now by default, that means that this counter is covered in leftover paint. Everyone who comes to these art classes has so much fun because they're able to make a mess and have a really good time. To finish this up, I added another plant and some trendy hanging lights. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but I added a frog because Cassie has frogs and somehow one of them has escaped and is just inside of her store now. This countertop looks a little empty, and the last item is an absolute must. It's a coffee machine. I love coffee, art with coffee. I mean, do you need anything else? Here's how the final spread looks inside of the book, but we're not done yet. I sent Cassie this painting of William the skunk, and he's celebrating his birthday, but there's a problem that she needs to help me with. If you want to see what Cassie created with my painting and little William the skunk, go ahead and check out her video here, and I'll see you in the comments section.